Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
Forex Live. November 10th. 7-Eleven America New York. Japan PM Kishida says will compile economic stimulus package by end of next week. Remarks by Japan Prime Minister, Fumio Kishida. Forex Live. November 10th. 7:05 America New York. US MBA mortgage applications W.E. The 5th of November plus 5.5% versus minus 3.3% prior. Latest data from the Mortgage Bankers Association for the week ending the 5th of November 2021. The jump in the past week comes amid a rebound in refinancing activity, after having seen the index slump to its weakest since January 2020 in the week prior.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. November 10th. 7 o'clock America New York. Zillow sells 2,000 homes in dismantling its house flipping business. Pretium Partners is buying the houses in 20 markets with plans to rent them to families.
Wall Street Journal Markets. November 10th. 7 o'clock America New York. Ethanol prices climb on strong fuel demand. The cost of corn, ethanol's main ingredient, has trended higher as refineries scramble to supply the gasoline additive, with drivers back on the road.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. November 10th. 7 o'clock America New York. Disney's streaming service subscriber growth under microscope. The company's earnings report follows CEO Bob Chapek's earlier warning about adding fewer new users to Disney Plus than analysts expected.
Daily FX Market News. November 10th. 7 o'clock America New York. Gold price running into resistance ahead of U.S. inflation data. The precious metal is heading towards a zone of resistance in advance of the latest U.S. inflation release.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. November 10th. 6:53 America New York. Unilever shelves planned Q-tip sale. The Dove soap owner has shelved plans to sell a string of struggling beauty and personal care brands after failing to drum up enough interest, according to people familiar with the matter. A setback for the consumer goods giant that has been under pressure to accelerate growth.
Wall Street Journal Markets. November 10th. 6:33 America New York. Hungry for more, DoorDash orders a heavy dessert. Delivery company is banking a lot on its next round of growth with an $8 billion acquisition. Wall Street Journal Markets. November 10th. 6:14 America New York. Tesla share price stabilizes ahead of market open. The electric vehicle maker's stock price edged higher in pre-market trading, a sign that it might steady after falling for 3 consecutive days.
New York Times Business. November 10th. 6:11 America New York. Matthew McConaughey on COVID-19, masks and vaccines for children. The actor and author Matthew McConaughey is contemplating a run for governor of Texas.
Forex Live. November 10th. 6:11 America New York. Some Evergrande bondholders said to not have received payment as of Asia business close today. Reuters reports, citing sources with knowledge of the matter.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. November 10th. 6:09 America New York. Tencent's profit growth slows after China tightens games rules. Tencent's third-quarter profit edged up amid soft advertising income and continued weakness in its games business.
BBC News Business. November 10th. 6:08 America New York. Walkers apologizes for crisp shortages. The company says it is doing everything we can to speed up production and increase stock. BBC News Business. November 10th. 6:05 America New York. Supreme Court blocks mass iPhone claim against Google. The claim sought damages for millions of iPhone users who were tracked by Google.
Forex Live. November 10th. 6:03 America New York. US CPI data later today isn't going to decide much in the inflation debate. Just another data point to fight over without any real answers for now. The estimate is for headline annual inflation to keep at the highs, at plus 5.3% YY in October, while core inflation is estimated to hold at plus 4.0% YY.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. November 10th. 6 o'clock America New York. The journey of one Southwest plane explains the misery of travel now. 1 million U.S. travelers have coped with canceled flights in recent months, with more likely this holiday season. One plane's misbegotten path helps explain why this keeps happening. New York Times Business. November 10th. 5:40 America New York. Google loses appeal of $2.8 billion EU antitrust fine. European regulators said Google gave preferential treatment to its own price comparison shopping service over rival services.
Daily FX Market News. November 10, 5:32 America New York, USD and AMP, cross-asset reaction to US CPI, AUD headwinds ahead of jobs report. FX implied volatility remains subdued, despite noteworthy inflation data. Soft iron ore prices weigh on AUD.
Wall Street Journal US Business. November 10, 5:30 America New York, miners have a pesky pollution problem. Their customers. Mining companies face pressure to reduce emissions produced by those who buy their commodities, but say their clients can't be controlled. Wall Street Journal US Business. November 10, 5:30 America New York, jobless claims likely continued downward trend. Employers are holding on to their workers while struggling to hire more as prime-age workers' participation in the labor market remains below pre-pandemic levels. Wall Street Journal US Business. November 10, 5:30 America New York, U.S. inflation likely reached 30-year high in October. Economists expect the Labor Department to report that the Consumer Price Index rose 5.9% last month amid pandemic-related supply shortages and continued strength in consumer demand.
Wall Street Journal Markets. November 10, 5:30 America New York, Blackstone turns sluggish credit business into a winner. The investment firm uses a low-fee formula to attract individual investors to credit funds as part of a push to gather $1 trillion of assets.
Wall Street Journal US Business. November 10, 5:18 America New York, Google loses EU shopping ads case appeal. A European Union court largely upheld a $2.8 billion antitrust decision against Google, adding new momentum to the bloc's assault on big tech companies.
Forex Live. November 10, 5:02 America New York. Reminder. It is a U.S. holiday tomorrow. The weekly initial jobless claims report is brought forward to today. There will be no economic releases as well, so that means the data for tomorrow, i.e. weekly initial jobless claims, is brought forward to today.
New York Times Business. November 10, 5 o'clock America New York, inflation sped up in October, economists expect. After moderating slightly in recent months, inflation is forecast to pick up again. That is bad news for President Biden and the central bank. Americans are paying more for furniture, food and pretty much everything else they're buying these days.